actually watching Queen's funeral. I don't I don't know. Remember I was like, I'm probably gonna stop checking out stuff about the royal family, but I just keep getting sucked back in with like recommendation videos. Anyways, it's actually pretty fascinating. I took AP European History, and I don't know, back then it was like interesting, but I don't think I really grasped what was going on because when you're like in high school, you're like, oh, I need to remember all this stuff for a test. Sometimes when you just do memorization, you don't really remember a lot of stuff. But yeah, anyways, I mean, I continued on with like art history and stuff, so I know about European art history because that's like a major part of undergrad art history, and then after that, you can go into like specifics. It's just kind of wild, and I kind of understand why people get sucked into like royal family history and or happenings. Yeah, I wanted to say I think it's kind of cool that they have their own like traditions because like sorry I bring this up a lot, but it affected me a lot, so I bring it up a lot. But yeah, when my dad passed away, I started to be a little more interested in the happenings or the reasons why we do certain things in like his family's tradition for like funerals and stuff. But yeah, like when I heard that the queen would be buried after like 14 days, it reminded me of like our culture. I know a lot of people don't care for the royal family, and I feel like I'm indifferent, but I still think it's very interesting and kind of beautiful, like that they do these traditions. And then when you think about how like old these traditions are, because like I'm in America and like we're pretty young compared to the rest of the world, and like when you think about how long these things have been going on, it's pretty wild. And I don't know, I think it's interesting, and I can understand why people like get sucked into the royal family stuff. Like, not even this royal family, like even way back when with like the Tudors, etc. It's just wild. But yeah, anyways, regardless of how you feel about the royal family or the queen, I just thought like their tradition is very beautiful because it reminded me about when I was like getting more in touch after my dad passed away and like learning about our funeral traditions. So may she rest in peace. It's kind of wild to think about too because the queen has been around for a long time, like since I was born. I think the whole lore behind the scepter and the orb is pretty interesting too. It's fascinating stuff. Kind of feels bittersweet seeing them remove the crown since it's like no longer hers. I don't know. I think it's wild because those are like the symbols of authority, and then it's like the royals are like the messengers of God. I don't know. I just think it's really interesting, like all this stuff, the lore behind everything. Not only for just, not only for the royals, but like different cultures in general, like why they do things, which is why it was interesting when I learned why we did certain things when my dad passed away. Just very interesting stuff. Dang, I'm getting kind of emotional seeing them do these like traditions, like the now current king having to put the crest on the coffin, and then her, I forgot what they were called, but they had to break their stick and then put it on top of it. It's like I wasn't even like super into the royal family through these years, but like seeing stuff like that, like bittersweet stuff like that, makes me like kind of emotional because it's just like, man, it's like when things have a purpose for why you do them, and then when it's the ending, it's like, I don't know, it makes me kind of emotional. Yeah, I was never into a royal family, so I'm like kind of surprised. I'm like invested right now. I was There's a lot of videos that were recommended to me, and then it tells that what happens when the queen passes. So it's like I know a lot more than I did before. They're talking about how the next service is the private service for the family where they move the queen or bury the queen with where her father is buried, along with the queen's husband, the Duke of Edinburgh. So they're all there together, and it's like the final chapter. I don't know. It's like I learned a lot this like past week about all these traditions, and they're very fascinating to me. But yeah, everyone is leaving now, and it's kind of like I said, I've never been invested in the royal family, but it's kind of bittersweet. That reminds me, I actually got a coin with the queen, or the late queen, on it. It was from my friend Mina. She and Ben sent me a pom pom pudding purse, or backpack, for my birthday. But yeah, it's like good luck to put money in a new gifted bag or wallet. And this was the coin that she gave me, so thanks. So yeah, I guess I do have something to remember the late queen. What a coincidence. But yeah, I found it when I was cleaning my room, and I actually had it left it on my table side, and I just saw it, but yeah, it's like it came full circle. I'm currently re-uploading the Animal Crossing episode for the week. I uploaded it before, but I forgot the Patreon ending, so I had to export it again, which takes a long time for some reason for my Animal Crossing videos compared to my vlogs, and now I have to re-upload it, so yep. Also today I'm just feeling very anxious, so I'm not that tired, so I guess I'm gonna just stay up and work, but I don't know, I just feel like we're in that like hustling mode of like gotta do a lot of stuff, gotta work on stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Like I feel pretty stressed too, but I'm trying my best to stay in this like positive mindset of like things will be okay, just keep on pushing through. But part of me, I think like the past week, part of me has like some dread looming over me, but it's like, I don't know, still pushing through. But I think part of me was like very optimistic that things would be fine and work out. But then because the world is in the state it is, it's like obviously, I don't know. And then on top of that, it's like I had to start over kind of because of like taking that on and off hiatus the last 2 years because life getting in the way. Then I finally get to a point where I'm like, I don't want to feel like I'm not living my life for myself, and we're gonna pick up where we left off and everything will be great. But then because of the state of the world, it's like everything's not okay, but I'm trying my best. But it doesn't help that like outside factors are like stressing me out. Specifically financially. And yes, most of it has to do with like my rent being raised and all that stuff. And then it's like everyone else is obviously going through trouble too. So like my Twitch subs are down as well. And then Patreon, not too many people joined, but like I said, it's a lot more than the 2 that I thought I was only gonna get. But yeah, then on top of that, it's like it's a new Patreon, and then also I have to kind of rebuild my brand because of like taking that on and off break. Because I'm pretty sure most people thought I like disappeared off the face of the world, but no, I still stream. But because I changed my stream schedule, not too many people pop up anymore. And then yeah, anyways I'm not like trying to like make anyone feel better or anything, or like because I do appreciate people who drop by and support me. Like, doesn't even have to be financially, because I don't really care about that. Like, any support I appreciate. Like, just even a lurk. It just really sucks. I hate that things are like run by money. But yeah, it's like I totally understand why people would drop out from Twitch subbing and Patreon. Like I totally get it because the world is in a weird place for a lot of people financially. So I totally get it. But I don't know. I'd be lying if I didn't say that. Like it made me a little disheartened of like wondering if I should still do this stuff. But then part of me is like, no, I don't want to stop because I do enjoy my company of my slime family, even though people have gotten busy and don't drop by as much. And again, I understand because after the panorama and everything, I feel like all of our lives are kind of all over the place. Yeah. I think another reason is because I feel like a black sheep in my family, and I always have kind of felt that way, that I don't want to give this stuff up because in a sense, I don't want them to be like, right? Of like, well, the things I do aren't like worth it. Because, I mean, because it's like, because it's like something's worth varies from person to person, and they're all very traditional. Like they want me to have a traditional job and all that because that equals security to them. But I think in the current state that the world is, there is no security for anything or anyone. But look, I'm just trying to live life. For a person who was pretty miserable most of their life, I'm just trying my best now to get through life and live it as best as I can. And trying my best to be happy. So I think that's the thing, is like I want to do the things I want to do because it's my life. And I want to be happy. But I think it's hard, especially like with my family. Because they're very traditional and quote-unquote realist, so they don't believe in like stuff like this. Yeah, anyways, just got a little stressed out, but you know, I mean, since 2020, the universe has been kind of mean to me. Like every time I thought, surely this can't get any worse, something would happen, and then like every time I would try to pick myself up, something would happen. And then again, I'm trying to pick myself up now, and things are happening. But then this time I'm trying not to let it get to me. So I'm trying to push through and work on stuff. But I would be lying to say I didn't feel like kind of anxious at times. But trying my best to push through and kind of manifest that positive mindset in the future. Anyways, I don't know, I'm just rambling. But thanks for listening. I'm just very stressed and I'm not very tired right now. Even though I should probably be sleeping. But I guess I'm gonna keep working until I knock out. So bye. was like, hi, it's Thai. Today has been a very weird day. Not wearing makeup, because I usually don't at home anyways. I usually wear makeup when I go out. But even then I haven't really because of masks. I still wear masks. I don't know. I'd rather be safe than sorry, especially because my mom is like high risk. Also because when my dad passed away, it's like in our tradition, their tradition, that you can't wear jewelry or dress up because it would be disrespectful because it's like you're celebrating that this person has passed away. So I just got used to not wearing stuff because it was kind of like forced upon me. Because now it's not in my routine anymore that I had to get used to it again, especially since I want to like wear AGL fashion on again. Yeah. Anyways, that's a whole thing. Today has been a very weird day. My mom got sent to the hospital again. It's like her third time. Yeah, she went to dialysis, and they called me when I was like streaming to tell me that she was having a hard time breathing. Like her oxygen levels were 60%, and that they had to call 911 because they can't put her on dialysis because that's a risk of like a heart attack. So they had to make sure that she's okay to like do it. So they sent her to the ER. And then I called them. They told me to call like an hour later to see if she was admitted, and I did, and they said she was. So they told me, just like the dialysis center told me, that her oxygen levels were low, and they're giving her oxygen, and something might be, like her heart might be having some stress. So they're gonna keep her overnight, maybe 2 nights. Yeah, and yeah, it's just very stressful that I don't know, it's like all happening again. It's like the third time this has happened, and it's like I'm reliving 2020 all over again. So it's like I'm trying to progress in life, and like I said, when I started vlogging, and then like I said, when I started vlogging again, I was trying my best to pick up from where I left off, but every time I tried before, like in the last 2 years or since 2020, every time I did try to pick myself up, something would happen. Like my dad passed away, and then I was like still trying to stream around that time, like to like cope and move forward. And at the time, like Twitch was a big part of my income anyways, so it was helpful like in case I had to like help or try to help with anything. And then oh yeah, and then like a month after, my mom was hospitalized for the first time, where we found out that she had like really bad kidney disease, and then it's been like a huge blur. It's been like a huge blur since then, because it just feels like I'm still living in 2020. I feel like a lot of people feel that way actually, that like it just feels like 2020 extended right now. And then yeah, every time like I tried to pick myself up and try to like reopen my shop and do all that stuff, something would happen again. So that's what I meant by like when I was like very mentally scatterbrained, because like the same constant things were happening over and over every time like I tried to pick myself up. So that's why like for the longest time I felt like I wasn't going to live my life for myself. Like I felt like doomed to be like stuck in this repeating cycle, and like it wouldn't be like my life anymore. But yeah, again, like, you know, the last like month or so I was trying to like be consistent with trying to pick myself up and like posting consistently and stuff. And then of course something happened. It's like I feel very cursed. A side note, like my dad has a lot of siblings, and in their family line he is number 4, and I always think about this a lot because I growing up in like a very traditional Asian family, there's a lot of superstitions, and the number 4 is unlucky because it like sounds like the word for death. And so but yeah, sometimes I think about that where I'm like, are we just unlucky because our family number is 4? Because I don't know, can't catch a break apparently. I feel I'm just trying my best. And yeah, but yeah, I laughed nervously because I'm like very used to being like or presenting myself as like a jolly person to people, because like I want to make people happy. But yeah, I don't know. Right now, I'm just like very stressed out. But yeah, like, but deep down, I'm just like screaming internally. So yeah, it's been a very weird day. I've been sleeping on and off because of like phone calls from the hospital or the doctor or my mom. But she seems okay. They just need to do tests on her and keep her overnight. So yeah, she doesn't seem as bad as like the last two times because like she went pretty early. But still very concerning. But we're probably gonna have to like yell at her about like her food intake. Like it can be a lot of things. It could be her medication. It could be what she's eating. But we're pretty sure like a good chunk of it could be like what she's eating. Cause like maybe 2 weeks ago, whenever we had the huge heat wave, she drank a lot of water when she's not supposed to. Cause like kidney patients can't really drink that much water because like their body can't process it by themselves. Then that's why they need dialysis. And yeah, so she was having trouble breathing because of that. Like one of the problems my mom has is she sneaks food a lot, and like that's always been really frustrating for me. Like I'll make her food and then or I'll meal prep for her and then she won't eat it, and then she'll like sneak food that she shouldn't be eating, and then we have to yell at her, and it's really frustrating to deal with because like you got sent to the hospital twice before already, and that was your third time. Like, when are you gonna learn like you doing this and this is gonna lead to like you having like that same pain that you had to go to the hospital, you know? It's really frustrating to deal with because you think like your parents should know better, but then when you grow up, like when you're a kid, you think adults know everything, but when you grow up, you realize like half of them don't really know anything. And like I think you realize that too as you're like growing up, and then you're figuring yourself out, and you're like when I was a teen, I thought I knew a lot, but then I'm like, wait, no. I don't know anything, and I'm like still learning about myself. But yeah, that's why it's like kind of funny, because it's like when you grow up, you realize that there are a lot of adults that don't know anything. I don't know. It's really frustrating though, because like I tell her so many times, like you can't have this, like you can't have salt, you can't have certain things. Like one of the things like she sneaks a lot is like tropical fruit, and like she can't have like most of that because the potassium is like super high, and that's like not good for her kidneys. But like she does it anyways, and like I feel kind of bad for her, but like she can't have it, you know? I feel bad for her because like she grew up like eating a lot of like Vietnamese food. And like that's where a lot of the tropical fruit comes from, and it's like, I'm sorry, you can't have this anymore because it's not good for you. So yeah, I get it. Like I totally understand like missing or wanting to eat things that you once enjoyed, and then like even though it's bad for you, you still want to eat it. I get it because like even though I've like done low carb for a long time, I fell off of it when my mom went to the hospital in November, so I've been almost off it for like a year, and I keep meaning to go back on it because I feel like I physically feel like bad, and I know it was like good for my health when I ate a lot cleaner. So, but like I've been trying to like finish up all this carby food my mom has bought, just so like she can't sneak eat it. So I think that's why I've also been off keto still. But yeah, I need to tell her to stop buying this stuff so I can go back on low carb. And then I think it would be easier to watch her too because she can't sneak things and then lie to my brother that I'm eating it. Because she's done that before. Because I remember one time my brother gave me a bag of popcorn from Trader Joe's, and then I ate some of it, but I left some of it on the some of it in the kitchen because in case he wanted like it back. And then when I came back, the popcorn bag was like pretty empty, and then I was like asking my mom if she ate it, and she kept saying she didn't and that my brother did, but it doesn't make sense that my brother did because he bought like 2 bags, and that's the exact reason that he gave me a bag is because he had too much, you know? It doesn't make sense. But yeah, so that's another reason why I really need to go back on low carb. But the reason why I haven't gone back is because, well, one was like I fell off because of my mom going to the hospital again, and then me getting stressed out. So then I started emotionally eating again, but I'm doing a lot better with that nowadays again, and like, but I like regained weight again because of it. But It's okay, I have more of a hamster cheek face again. But that's one reason why, like, I need to try my best to get back on it. Other than my own health reasons, because I know I don't do well with sugar because it's very addicting. I just need to eat cleaner again, is all I'm saying. But then also, like, the bonus is if I do eat low carb keto again, my mom can't, like, you know, sneak stuff or sneak extra things in and say that I ate it when she's actually eating it. And then, yeah, she like hides a lot of stuff in her room, and we need to clean out her room. But yeah, that's where we're at. It's been a very weird day. Despite it, I'm like very stressed because I have all this other stuff I have to deal with now too. My brother told me I need to find a trust lawyer in case anything were to happen. Knock on wood. But yeah, it's like this whole thing that I'm not gonna get into because it's just some weird family stuff. But yeah, it's like stressful because it's like I don't know how to do half of this stuff. I don't know where to look. But I guess it's like forced, like it's part of growing up. You have to be forced to do things that you're not used to. But I would be lying if I wasn't stressed about it because I very much am. And yeah, it's just been a very weird day. Despite the stress and everything, I'm probably gonna try my best to continue working on stuff. I probably can't stream today because I should probably sleep earlier, so in case I get a phone call from the hospital or my mom or the doctor. But for now, since I'm like kind of awake, since I've been sleeping on and off throughout the day, I'll try my best to like work on shop stuff and my Patreon stuff. But yeah, like I said, like every time I try to pick myself up, something happens. Like I don't know why. It's like clockwork. It always happens. I don't know why, but it does. But I'm trying my best to push through and still work on stuff despite having this other stuff dumped on me and all the stress and anxiety. So yeah, still gonna try my best. Just very stressed out, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I laugh nervously, but this is how I cope. I'm so used to being like a like presenting myself as a positive, like funny person to cheer other people up around me because everyone else is struggling too, like 100%. Like, but yeah, it's like I know everyone else is struggling. It's not just me, but because yeah, like a few days ago on stream, people were saying how they were stressed about IRL, and it's like it just feels like an extension of 2020. Like everyone's still struggling. Like one of my friends got laid off, or a bunch of people got laid off, and yeah, we're all struggling, and it sucks because how the economy and stuff is now too. But yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's like I'm trying my best to stay positive and think positive and like think that things are gonna get better. But like things keep happening and it's like sometimes it's very disheartening, but I really do hope that things get better though. It's just yeah, it's just very disheartening that like things keep happening and like things aren't quite getting better for some people. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just rambling. I just want things to be good. I just want things to be better and to be able to move forward in life and not constantly be dragged down again and like stuck in this endless loop of the same things happening. Yep, that's where we're at. Oh, also I feel really bad for Milo because he's been like waiting for mom all day and then he was crying like a bit ago and I had to go play with him and yeah, I feel bad for him. But last year when my mom went to the hospital, Pancho was still alive, so that at least they had each other, but now Milo only has me, and I feel bad for him. Because he was like crying, because he does love my mom a lot. But yeah. Took him for a few walks today, but I just feel really bad for him. But yeah, it's been a very weird day, and I'm just gonna try my best to work on stuff in the meantime. But yeah, thanks for listening. I'm internally screaming. to update. My mom came home today and she's sleeping now. So she needs to get her heart checked at a specialist doctor, so I'll have to do that with her. But yeah, this it's just because this is the third time she's had trouble with breathing, and she's been on dialysis for a while. And usually dialysis like should help with things, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Like why she's having breathing issues, because she didn't tell me. But it's really late and she's like asleep now, so I'll have to see tomorrow maybe. So yeah, that's the update with her. And I woke up with like the biggest headache today, and it's like ongoing. And yeah, I don't know, maybe it's the stress giving me a headache too. I'm trying to hydrate as best as I can. And that's where I'm at today. Trying to get used to talking to the camera, but I don't like it because I don't like how I look half the time. But anyways, hi, it's later in the day, and yeah, don't mind me. I look very disheveled because it's later in the day, and I feel like throughout the day my hair just gets really gross and greasy, and yeah. Also, I haven't slept, so that's probably also why I look disheveled. But also because of that, I probably can't stream, so my whole streaming schedule this week has been thrown out the window. My mom came in to ask me for something. She was asking me to set up something to watch for her, and I had no idea what she was talking about because it was very vague. And you know, I don't know, like it's like I don't know if you like know like when you have untech savvy parents, and then like they try to describe something to you, and you're like, I don't know. Anyways, that was me. I was like, I'm not sure what you want exactly. And she was asking me to set up something for her smart TV that my brother gave her. So I was like, well, I'm not quite sure, so maybe you can ask him since he gave you the TV. But I don't think she wanted to, because I kind of understand though, because he doesn't have a lot of patience for her, and it can lead to like yelling if she doesn't like understand, because she kind of doesn't understand easily, so you have to repeat it a lot. So yeah, I think because it usually ends pretty bad, that's probably why she always comes to me, and I kind of get why like I get a lot of stuff dumped on me, because I'm the more like chill child. But anyways, yeah, I didn't know what she wanted, so she was telling me that my cousin set up something for her sister, so my aunt, to watch, and she wanted that too, and I had no idea what exactly it was because I didn't know if it was like a Netflix thing. So she ended up calling my cousin, but he was like working, but he was really nice and took the time to talk to us. So he took a break, and but yeah, he told me it was YouTube, and that's all I really needed to know, because the way that my mom was describing it, I had no idea, because it could have been any like video service, you know. Anyways, yeah, I haven't talked to him in so long. Like, I think the last time I talked to him was at a wedding when I was still in high school. I think maybe my senior year of high school. He was actually my favorite cousin from my mom's side of the family. Him and his brother, they were like the cool cousins. I mean, I think the other cousins were kind of cool. At least one of them. I actually don't remember her name. But I had one cousin that was on my mom's side of the family that was into like Sailor Moon and stuff. And I think she wanted to go into animation. And you know, and then it's like, I wish I knew that stuff. I wish I knew that was a viable job when I was a lot younger versus like being pushed into the sciences. But not that I don't like science, because that's how I got Thymine. But yeah, and yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's like to follow my heart. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a painter, and I should have just followed it. Yeah, he asked me how I was doing, and then I was just like, yeah, just surviving. And then he acknowledged it, like, yeah, we're all just trying to survive. But yeah, it was nice talking to him again. And then after that, I was trying to help my mom set up the YouTube videos, and then she told me that, yeah, when she came back today, she asked me if my brother gave me a ring. Because when my brother went to pick up the car keys the other day from the hospital, she apparently gave him a ring to give me, but he didn't. But I might have been asleep, so. But yeah, yeah, she said she found it in her purse, so the missing ring was found. But yeah, I told her that the ring kind of reminded me of Princess Diana's engagement ring. Like, it's not as big, but like the way that it was arranged, it reminded me of it. We actually had like a nice combo, I guess, because when I was young, I remember my mom being really into Princess Diana. So when she passed away, it was like a huge thing in my family, because she would like watch it on the news and stuff. But I was like really young, so I didn't really quite understand what was going on or like the depth of it until like I got older. And yeah, then she like brought up the convo about the queen passing and stuff. And yeah, I just thought it was like very coincidental that the start of this vlog was me talking about the queen's funeral and the royals. But yeah, it's like the whole vlog just went like full circle. And it's like everything I talked about in this vlog was pretty related. But yeah, it was just interesting to me that like at the end of the day, yeah, the convo actually started because my mom and I had to help my mom with like making calls to try to get like a follow-up appointment. And then yeah, we were talking about the queen, and then she talked about like she was asking like their ages of like her and then Prince Philip. And then she went into talking about like how like they lived pretty long, and yeah, if you eat healthy, you'll live long. And then she went into talking about how like she needs to as well. And then but it confirmed that her eating is like a major problem too, like why she's having breathing issues. But yeah, it's like everything in this vlog became full circle. And I guess this is more like a chatty vlog versus a studio vlog, but I promise the next vlog is more interesting because I did do a bit more art stuff, but I didn't want to like squish it into this vlog, so it would be too long, you know? The next vlog though will be an actual studio vlog versus like a half studio vlog. Thanks for listening to me ramble and vent. It's been a weird week, and it's only Thursday. Oh god. Anyways, take care, stay cute, bye!